What's up, everybody? This is Terrence, aka the Introvert Leader. Welcome to the Introvert Experience. And so today we're going to be talking about presentation skills and tips. And so in my last episode, we were talking a lot about preparation. We talked about when you have a presentation or a meeting coming up that you're going to be leading. How do you prepare for that? How do you get ready? Well, now I want to talk about specifically when you're in the middle of talking or you're getting ready to talk. What are some of the skills that you need to have? What are some things you can do? How can you help yourself to stand out and give a memorable presentation or lead a good meeting, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And I've talked about this some in the past, but I think a lot of these things are worth repeating and worth really putting into practice because it truly can help, all right? So the first thing, and I hit on this a little bit in the preparation episode, but it's just the importance of our self-talk. The importance of our self-talk, right? So if I know that I have a meeting coming up or a presentation, and if I'm saying to myself things like, man, I don't know how this is gonna go. Man, I don't think I'm prepared for this. Yeah, the last time I did this, I was a little nervous. I fumbled over my words. I don't know how this will be. If I'm saying these things and repeating these things over and over in my head, what do you think that does by the time I get to the day of that presentation? What do you think it does when I'm about to speak and my name gets called? See, all of these things play into the outcome of what actually ends up happening, right? The mind is a very powerful thing. So one thing that we want to start with and we want to do is when we know it's about to be our turn to speak, when we know that we're about to be called on to lead that meeting or whatever is about to happen, we want to start off with positive self-talk. You want to have a power phrase, okay? So for me, my power phrase is, I'm the best speaker in the room. If I ever feel myself getting nervous, if I ever wonder if I'll be able to answer all the questions, if I ever have doubts about anything that I'm going to say or what's going to come out of my mouth, I say to myself, I am the best speaker in the room. Okay. Now, granted, I may not be the best speaker in the room. There may be some speakers in that room that may be amazing, and that's okay. But for myself, I tell myself that because it puts me in a very different mindset. It changes the perspective. So you want to have that power phrase and you want to say that to yourself as soon as you are about to start speaking and getting ready to lead that meeting or do that presentation, okay? The next thing that we want to do is be very intentional with our breathing. Our breathing is so huge, all right? So one thing that happens with me, and I've talked about this in the past, but for whatever reason, my heart starts to race fast and starts to beat fast. This doesn't always happen when I'm gonna present or talk, but sometimes it does. And I think it's just the nerves, it's the excitement, it's the exhilaration. Some of it could be some anxiety, it could be a mix of all those things, right? But when I begin to feel that, I have breath exercises that I do now. So I breathe deeply, just taking a very deep breath. I inhale and I exhale out through my nose. And I do that a few times. And what slowly happens is the nerves that I have, they begin to go away. They begin to subside and calm down. I start to feel myself in that moment. The anxiety, the fears, some of the thoughts that might be negative, they begin to go away when I breathe deeply. I have my positive self-talk. I'm putting myself in a state to get ready to speak. So that's what you want to do. If you feel nerves, if you feel like maybe you're not ready, or you feel yourself physically just things are happening that you can't explain and you feel anxious, you want to control your breathing, okay? I promise it'll make a huge difference.
How do introverts lead in an extroverted world? A world where the loudest voices and the most social people seem to thrive. Well, there's a secret that any introvert can turn into a superpower. That secret is calmness. To learn how to transform your leadership as an introvert, download the Calm Effect today.
One of the last things, and very, very important, is the importance of your posture. Your posture can make or break you, I promise. And I wish I had known this earlier on in my career. But if I go to speak and I'm talking to people and my shoulders are slumped over, I'm slumped like this, and I'm looking at the ground, I'm not making eye contact with anybody, that is a very different posture than if I am sitting up straight, I'm making direct eye contact with who I'm talking to, I'm scanning the room, I'm making eye contact with the different people that I'm talking to and that I'm presenting to. I'm standing up straight, I'm looking people in the eye, and I'm speaking with confidence. That is a very different posture, okay? So whatever your natural tone is, your natural tone of speech, the way that you communicate with people, you want that to be the way that you talk and the way that you come across when you are speaking in front of others, okay? So you don't have to sound like anybody else. You don't have to take on the style of anyone else, but you do want to come off as confident. You want to have your shoulders back. You want to have your head up, and you want to be looking directly at people as you're speaking, okay? When you do this, not only does it make other people view you as someone that's confident, but you begin to view yourself as more confident. You begin to feel more confident. I know this because I'm a person that used to look down sometimes when I would speak, or when I was jumbling my words, when I didn't know the next thing to say, I might look down, or my shoulders might be slumped. There are all these things that I would do, and then the negative self-talk would creep in, and it would become this spiral. But when you do the opposite, when you focus on your posture, and you focus on being truly in tune in that moment, it honestly is a game changer, okay? So your posture and focusing on that, huge, huge difference, all right? So listen, I hope you found this episode to be helpful, and I also hope that you enjoyed it. I want you to know that you absolutely have the power to be an amazing speaker, an amazing leader. This is coming from somebody that did not view myself that way. I will tell you that even today, leading large teams, there are times I get nervous if I have a difficult presentation coming up. I often have difficult presentations, and you may be the exact same way, or you may be someone that aspires to get to a space where you have those kind of presentations. Wherever you're at or whatever your journey is, I just want you to know that you can win. You absolutely can win, and you will, as you begin to get more practice, get more reps in, and start to implement some of these different tips into your speaking, all right? So with that said, as always, remember, there's only one you and there's only one life. So make it count. God bless.